What up, everybody? My name is Jerome.
And I'm Janelle.
And this is Atypical Reactions. We are about to watch Gilded Season 2, Episode 1. This is one of our favorite shows. It was last year, right? Season 1?
Yep.
HBO Max, now Max.
Old money versus new money.
Yeah, 1800s New York. 1890. Which, just a quick little thing before we get into it. This show actually what made me look into reading books about black people that were doing well in the late 1800s. I wasn't aware that there was black millionaires back then. I had no idea. So this show, sparked my curiosity to where I was able to look into books and read. We both read books and watched different shows in that era, just because of this show. So
we hope you enjoy as much as we do.
Yeah. And if you enjoy our videos, please
like and subscribe.
Indeed, and hit that notification bell. We appreciate it. And also, if you want to see our full reactions on Patreon, the link will be in the description. And for those of you that are supporting us on Patreon, we appreciate it greatly. Bless you. So, without further ado, Gilded Age Season 2. If you haven't watched it, please go watch Gilded Age Season 1 and catch up with us. This is a weekly show, so. All right, here we go. I would go to a thing dressed like this.
And that's how they dress every day. Just go to luncheon.
Yeah.
Right? It's crazy.
Yeah. Change clothes to go eat a different meal.
The same house.
Also, at that time, since they're just now getting the electricity situation together, that means there was no refrigerators and shit. So.
Oh, that's right. She's out now.
Promenade. Bridgerton.
It's kind of the same vibe, just the American version.
Larry says the house is finished, and I want to make sure that it is.
Well, I hope it will take your mind off that other business. I hate to see you upset.
They got started on the house in Newport right away, huh?
The Academy must have a list of applicants as long as your arm. And I'm sure Mrs. Astor tried to help.
Are you? I'm not.
It's funny with her. I root for her, but
she's worried about the wrong things.
She gets on my nerves with that.
The Spring family has asked us to join them in their grief for Easter. So that is what we shall do.
I thought they was leaving at the end of season 1. Didn't it seem like they were leaving?
Who?
What was her name? Penny?
Peggy?
Peggy. And her mom.
Yeah, it seemed like they was going to Philadelphia.
Mr. Borden pretended to be French to get a job. Is that a crime?
Well, not crime, but quite a good joke.
If the mistress can accept that her chef is from Kansas, surely we can.
If she admits it at all, I bet it's through gritted teeth.
Or should we say, à la dent sacrée.
All right.
They're never gonna let it go.
Never.
Hello? Miss Weber, isn't it?
How do you know my name?
I asked one of your footmen. I'm Jack Trotter.
Oh, wait, he's not smitten with the kitchen girl?
I was thinking you might like to meet up someday. Maybe have a cup of coffee?
Guess not.
How pretty they've made it.
There's Mrs. Russell.
Oh, happy Easter to all of you.
Ada, come sit down.
Everybody's still on their petty.
Yeah. They're towards the back, huh? The Russells.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got their staff in church too. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did well. The new rector.
He kept the sermon short, which is something.
Oh, look. He's a...
I know exactly who you are, Mrs. Van Ryn.
She don't like anybody.
Never mind the Knights of Labor. We must deal with the steelworkers. They've elected a new leader, a man called Henderson. And I'm afraid he seems to know what he's doing.
The only thing worse than a union man is a clever union man.
We ought to get some of the owners together.
Here we go with this.
Started back then, huh?
Man.
And my first wedding is this week. So I feel I'm getting married.
May we hear who is to be married?
Miss Bingham and Mr. Rakes.
Right on.
Do you know them by any chance?
No.
Little.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Why did they even ask?
wow.
Don't worry about it. You dodged a bullet.
He quickly married her, though, huh?
So what? Fuck that dude. Trash.
They just left her behind. She's still in shock.
But she's not missing nothing.
She's really not. She need to go for Mr. Russell.
Are you going to Mrs. Rutherford's ball? I'm quite surprised I've been invited.
With 3 bachelor sons. Mother says she'll have every heiress in New York.
He's still trying to court her, huh?
I've been meaning to ask you about your hat. Is it lovely? How did you enjoy the service?
She's on to him. Okay, good.
I hope so. That's the only time I don't like him.
Yeah.
Is when he's on his predator shit.
Because he only likes her for her money.
He don't like her at all. She's a beard.
Yeah.
And he's counting on her being so naive to be able to just, oh,
did he lose that too?
You know what? Because dude been telling him like, man, I don't like this. And he
Yeah,
just
I
been
want to be
ignoring
open
him.
about it. And you
I don't know if he's saying all that, but he's just like, I don't like how you going about this. And he's just ignoring him, so he got his attention now.
A loved and loving little boy.
And so he was.
I wish I'd known.
I hope that's not her son, is it?
So I can show you his room and his toys. And maybe you'll feel that you do know him a little. I hope so.
Who's he? They're the
I guess
people that adopted him?
him. Dang, what happened to him? That's why she's wearing black. Okay.
Dorothy, please. You can't blame me for scarlet fever.
I can blame you that we weren't here before the fever struck.
That's sad. I thought she was gonna get to meet him.
Yeah. And she's pissed. Don't seem like she gonna let that go anytime soon. I feel like he's gonna do something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Go on him.
On to the next, huh?
I mean, that's how
What
it
are
be.
they? Was he at a gay bar? Gay bar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's where him and dude used to be at, I think. But I mean, once it's over, then yeah, songs is next. Then they're not gonna be.
Yeah.
But they was serious though. That's why supposedly this whole plan was so they could be together.
Did he enjoy his life?
He was a happy child. Always laughing, always full of fun.
We wouldn't have stopped you seeing him. I hope you believe that.
Don't be too nice to me.
Hmm.
I'd have taken him away. I'd have fought the adoption and I would have taken him with me if I could.
I wish you had. It might have saved him if you gotten him out of the city before the fever came.
Don't say that, or we'll all go mad.
It's too late for you, sir.
Yeah, he's trying to save his own shit.
Keep it. I mean it. He loved his bear.
They are a nice family.
His other mother.
She loved him, you know. My Carlotta, she loved him.
Oh, she died too, huh?
He seems to be looking at her.
I'll be the love interest. He was cute.
I appreciate your kindness.
So do I. I mean it.
We share a child. Bond.
All right, dude.
I think he owns something.
Relax. Like, he's 3D with it.
The daddy not gonna go for it though.
He might, cause they doing all right.
This is Scott. Slowly, girls. The food's not.
But ain't she? Was she kind of dealing with the newspaper dude?
I thought she started to like him, or he showed interest in her.
Yeah. She going through a lot right now. She probably don't need to be worried about none of that.
I like St. Patrick's.
The new cathedral is a...
Yeah, she's still there.
How was yours?
I enjoyed it, with all the ladies showing off the latest fashions.
I'm not sure what that has to do with holy worship. What were you saying to Miss Weber?
Wow.
When did you see her?
She was at church with the other Russell servants.
I don't like her.
Garbage.
But she's miserable. That's why. Always stirring some stuff up.
Yeah, trying to get some shit going.
Oh, I expect that's him now.
Wow. Ooh.
Oh, he got beat.
Sorry, I haven't changed. I just.
Oscar! Bannister, help me get Mr. Oscar up to the blue room and find an old nightshirt.
Yes,
Marion, send John for Dr. Lewis. Ada, do we have any bandages or salves?
Wow.
They're in the kitchen.
I'll fetch them.
I thought he was in the gay bar.
What happened?
Mr. Oscar has been attacked.
What? I need whatever bandages and creams we have here.
I know where they are.
Bandages and creams.
How are you feeling?
Much better, thank you.
Then we must send for the police.
No, not the.
She doesn't know his true self, right?
I don't think she does. She might, though. She be knowing stuff.
And you did nothing to provoke him?
Why do you say such a thing?
Because I know you. I've watched you.
Now, she don't know, because she thought he was messing with,
the maid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was a little bit of a shock, but I'm fine. Or I will be.
Good. Because you have so much to look forward to. I'm sure of it.
Hmm. But she knew that's what he was on, though.
Mm-hmm. She thought he truly loved her.
Yeah, but once she seen him...
Yeah. He moved on to the better situation.
And then showed up to the ball with her.
But I was very shy when I was your age, with so much less to offer. It would have taken someone rare to look inside my shell.
If he didn't, it was his loss.
Good night.
Good night.
Sleep well.
See what she did there? Instead of feeling sorry for herself, she decided to protect her. Or come to her defense.
That's the Newport house, huh? Of course, hers is going to be more grand than everybody else's.
For sure.
It's beautiful, though.
Do you think the new Metropolitan Opera will succeed?
The members of the Academy are very determined it should not. And if you jump that way, you'll never take Mrs. Astor with you. My advice would be to stick with her. She'll get you into the Academy in the end.
I'm not much good at in the end. Besides, nothing stays the same forever, and I can't always be at Mrs. Astor's beck and call.
Why not?
She finna be killing them with the dresses this season.
That whole family.
Yeah.
The suits and everything.
Nah, but she, you know,
yeah.
Praise, man.
It's splendid. My son is a genius.
Oh, he designed that? Okay, that's dope.
I always felt so safe with Arthur. Sleep in a man's arms for years and you think you know him, but... There you are.
Dang. Cold shoulder from both of them.
Come on, man. I mean,
deservedly so.
How long will this go on? You can't keep putting yourself in danger.
I'm starting to think you may have a point.
Meaning?
I wonder if it isn't time I began to live a more grown-up life.
Don't tell me this heralds the arrival of Oscar Van Ryn, family man and pillar of society.
His entrance is rather overdue.
You do know you would be asking a very great deal of yourself.
No more than thousands of other men have asked before me. No more than you will ask of yourself one day.
Not me. I've no desire to lock who I am in a box and throw away the key. I don't think I could, anyway.
Then what will your life be?
Friendship, companionship, perhaps something more if I can learn to live with a little discretion.
Still a life of lies.
But I won't be lying to myself.
It's different for you. You've got brothers. I am the torchbearer of the House of Van Ryn.
That's a point.
Mm-hmm. His mom expects it, right?
I mean, it's different for him because he got brothers and all that passing down the next.
Some coffee, sir?
Oh, please, thank her.
Oh, did she see something?
I feel like she did.
Yeah.
Did she see anything?
There wasn't a lot to see.
Just don't tell fucking Armstrong's nosy ass.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's nosy, but Armstrong is trash with it.
Your day will come, my dear. And the Academy of Music has served New York society for 30 years. Have they not earned our loyalty?
Yours, maybe, but not mine. Not when they won't let me in.
Mrs. Russell, you must know how very proud I am of your success in New York.
That's generous.
I mean it. You worked to be accepted, and I do hope that I was a help. You wouldn't want to throw that all away and find yourself back where you started, out on your ear.
I suppose I like to go where I'm valued.
I wouldn't like to see you pay the price for backing the losing side.
Well, you're right about one thing, Mrs. Astor. I certainly intend to find myself on the winning side.
Arthur, we had a grandchild. His photograph belongs with the pictures of your parents and mine and all the rest of them. They're dead, but they're still our family.
All right, you want me to say it? I was wrong. I thought I was right, but I was wrong. We should have kept the boy.
I'm glad he finally said it.
Yeah, but he acting like he's doing something by admitting he was wrong.
How can I be satisfied? My grandson is dead. Who? We saved you some dinner.
I'm not hungry.
He looks so much like you at that age. Shall we keep it in here?
Man, they going through it.
I lie awake at night thinking about how I should have done things differently. I'm sorry.
That's all.
That's all I can say.
Well, you just have to keep saying it until Peggy can find
So you'll hate me all your life?
I don't hate you. But we need a rest from each other. We have been trapped in this trio of regret for too long. Now I'm going to bed.
Her reaction is interesting.
I think it's, the mom didn't want to believe it for the longest,
Yeah. I also feel like she feels like the way her mom is taking it, there's not really room for her to be doing all that too. You know what I mean?
She never answers my letters, and if we do meet, it's very stilted. I'm sure Mrs. Russell has told her not to speak to me.
Well, if you're really in love with her, you must give it another try, but this time...
He's not.
You know he's not.
She knows he's not.
Is there any chance I could come back to 61st Street? If Mrs. Van Ryn hasn't found a replacement,
I assure you she has not.
Then can you ask her if she'd meet with me?
Aunt Agnes would welcome you back with open arms, and so would I.
With that lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Aunt Agnes regrets keeping Armstrong when she let you go. If you think you can handle her, please come back.
I'd like to, Miss Armstrong notwithstanding.
I'll speak to Aunt Agnes and write to you.
Thank you.
I wish I could understand the whole thing. You don't even like opera. Not so I've ever noticed.
George, the opera is where society puts itself on display. Not just in New York, but all over Europe. And the leaders take boxes where they meet each other and their children court each other, and that is how the wheels of society turn.
The Academy tried to stop the Metropolitan from being built.
And they thought they could. But it'll be open by the end of October.
If you decide to back the bet, you know you'll be taking on Mrs. Astor.
And?
Of course, I love that you're not afraid of her.
I'm glad to be her friend, George, but not her lackey.
May I spend the night?
So,
Weren't we going to manage that?
Aurora can do it. She's his cousin. We'll all go, and Marion can meet some more suitable young people.
Although I'm never sure that your definition of suitable is quite the same as mine.
If it isn't, it should be. I hope you're not still pining after that tedious Mr. Rakes.
Oh, Agnes. There's no need to bring that up.
Not really, Aunt Agnes. They were bound to marry at some stage.
All I hope is that next time you will listen to us and not assume.
Alright, you're gonna rub a nose in it.
If there is a next time.
That's all we ask, isn't it, Ada? Some respect for our advice.
All I want is for Marion to be happy.
You know she was gonna rub it in that she was right.
Yeah. So what I don't like the dude is he's not even considering the girl's happiness. He's just, this is what I need, so that's it. She has nothing to gain from it.
Do you really think that she'll side with the new Metropolitan?
It's beginning to look like it.
Won't Mrs. Astor kick up her stink?
Mrs. Russell doesn't lack courage.
And that's what I like about her thing. Even though she be trying to fit in, it's to a limit. She ain't finna be played with.
I asked Aurora to give this party so I could make the offer myself.
What?
I know there are men out there who are younger and richer than I am, but we would live well. You could choose your own friends, run your own house, manage your own life. Isn't that what you want?
Very much so.
And I'm not a bully. I'd never force you to echo my opinions and parrot all my views.
Of course not.
Most men would.
That's true, I suppose.
You have every quality that I admire, truly.
Shouldn't you be saying these things to my father?
I'll write to him.
Oscar, Gladys.
Oh.
You mustn't miss the tea.
Of course not.
You mustn't miss the tea.
Well, I tried to target my freight traffic and shut some down.
But you didn't give in.
Well, we can't give in. The list of what they want will grow with every concession. Houses, medical care, less work, more pay.
They want an 8-hour workday, for God's sake.
The point is, we can't back down, or we'll lose control of everything we've spent our lives building. For once, we must stand together and introduce change when we decide, not them.
They're a rabble, so treat them like a rabble. If it comes to it, I'll hire half the working class to kill the other half.
Aunt Agnes, Aunt Ada, how are you?
You've a good memory, that's clear.
Miss Brooke, what are you doing here?
How do you know Miss Brooke?
Well, she's my teacher at St. Mary's.
What?
Oh, she got a job. Look at her face.
We should go. But it's good to see you all. Come and call on us.
That was her big secret.
Mrs. Russell keeps her daughter on a tight rein.
I suppose she's afraid of fortune hunters.
Of which there are plenty in New York.
Naming no names.
Right on.
I thought they ended
That's what I
with
thought.
something. Unless he's trying to make her jealous.
Probably is.
Yeah.
If you thought so, then why did you keep it a secret?
Because I knew you'd be angry.
Ada, why didn't you stop her?
Me? What could I have done?
When did you find out about it?
This afternoon, like... You're wrong. Not everyone is as cruel and mean-spirited as you.
Oh?
Marion.
Is it cruel to mind it when you stamp on our name and drag it in the mud? Now get out of my way!
It's probably not the best time to bring up Peggy, huh?
Yeah.
It was unusual, yes. But every now and then I wonder if it isn't good to shout a little and let off steam.
Peggy might be the best thing for them right now.
Yeah. She's bored.
I should be changing, but I need you to tell me that everything's taken care of.
Everything is taken care of, ma'am. We did a dry run the night that you dined with Mrs. Cushing.
And the deliveries, the extra footmen, they've all arrived?
Madam, please go up and change and leave this to me.
You know what's hard for her? Got to control every goddamn thing.
I spoke too harshly. I admit that.
Agnes is sorry too. Aren't you?
Bannister will escort you across the street.
She gonna be who she gonna be.
She's the matriarch of that whole entire family.
Yeah, like, and you can't yell at her in her house.
Yeah.
So.
You do know I won't go against Mrs. Astor.
I know you think you won't, but don't worry. We shan't fall out.
You do know that Mrs. Astor would like the Metropolitan blown up from its foundation.
Don't worry. I have a plan. And Mrs. Astor, the Academy Board may think they can keep out the new people with impunity, but you're clever enough to know they're wrong. While the Metropolitan would welcome the old guard if they want to come, why not take a box in both houses and see how it plays out?
Perhaps you do not value. I should scold you, Mrs. Fish, but I know that you're just playing with matches, as you like to.
Oh, look, we're going in.
Mrs. Astor.
Miss Fish stole that whole scene without barely saying a word.
She loves it.
And of course, the great Christina Nielsen, who will perform on the opening night. If any of you can sleep after hearing those names, then I hope you dream of music.
There must be someone that's hard to get for their...
But Nielsen always performs at the Academy. The Academy is her home in New York. She can't be singing.
Well, she is.
And surely, even if they sell every seat in the house, they won't have enough money for that cast.
They won't expect to run at a profit for the first few years.
I don't understand. What does that mean?
I'd guess it means they have plenty of money at their disposal.
But they can't plan to run at a loss. That isn't fair.
Well, the audience will have the chance to hear every major singer in the world. Isn't that fair?
She's realizing her little spot's about to be old news.
What you doing?
Minding his business.
Thinking.
About Miss Weber?
She always in his business.
Something must have happened, right?
Yeah, she's traumatized, and she can't do all that extra stuff. That he's not going. I mean, you know, he probably understands, but he's not going without.
Wants it every which way. They refuse to build more boxes, and they won't spend the money to secure the best singers, but they don't want anyone else to do so either.
Mrs. McNeil, are you all right?
What is it?
I don't know, but I need to know. We got it.
I hope it is not a disappointment that we won't leave the gentlemen to their port. Instead, would you like to join me in the hall?
She's like...
She got up her sleeve.
Is everyone supposed to join them in the hall?
Who was that? Why were you looking at him?
The man is my father.
Did you know he was a servant?
My mother said he had come down in the world, but I wasn't sure her account was honest.
How did you recognize him after all this time?
He used to come to the house and watch me from across the street. When at last I asked why, he told me. What can we do? Except hope it doesn't get out, I suppose.
Oh, I think we can do more than that.
I don't know. He don't think he finna strong arm.
Oh, are they about to have a little opera in her house?
We shall see. Probably though.
When was this all done?
During dinner. When do you think?
But that's impossible.
You know now that the new opera house will open in October with a production of Gounod's Faust. And as you heard, we're lucky enough that Miss Christina Nielsen will sing the part of Marguerite. But we are perhaps even luckier than that this evening, because Miss Nielsen has traveled to New York to give you a taste of things to come.
Look, she get upset.
Flexing on them.
She's getting so upset.
The Russells be flexing. She's in pain.
Yeah. She's in pain.
Okay, so that was the first episode of Gilded Age.
Season 2.
Season 2, yeah. And so I'm excited about how they started it.
Yeah.
A lot going on.
Miss Russell did a major flex at the end.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Getting the opera singer to come to her home.
Miss Fish stole the scene without even speaking.
Yes.
She just facial expression stole the whole scene. She's
Yep.
loving all the mess,
The
and
drama.
all the petty.
Yep.
Yeah, she lives for it.
Yep. So that's gonna be a major thing. The old money versus the new money.
Yeah. That's what it's mainly been. But now I feel like it's going to another level.
Yeah, because now they got a new opera house. They don't have to try to get into the... What was the name of the old opera house?
Something, the art
Yeah,
district, something.
something.
But really, it's like the new money is sick of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what's interesting is the new money in this show is the names that we know. The Rockefellers, the JP Morgans and all that. So those are the new money. And they sick of being left out. And they have more money than the old money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
They just didn't arrive on the Mayflower or whatever.
Yeah, that's why she was like, wait, so y'all willing to run the opera house for free? Not for free, but and not make any money? Like, that's not fair. It's like, because they got it like that.
Yep.
And they just tired of being left out.
And they can't really compete. They just have, the name.
No, and that's what what's his name's been telling Mr. Astor the whole time. Like, it's all fun and games, but eventually they just gonna build their own thing and leave us out.
And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. So
I'm just curious to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Then we learned in this episode, because the end of season 1, Penny and her mom was trying to look for her son.
Yeah.
So they started off letting us know that he didn't make it.
Yeah.
He passed.
Yeah.
And it seems like the adoptive father has a thing for her, right?
Yeah. He's super aggressive with it.
Interesting.
I feel like he's like really in her face. Letting her know
you're supposed to be mourning. Your wife and child just passed.
Yeah. I mean, it's, obviously, I don't know, it's different back then, but whatever. He's definitely interested.
Yes.
But I also feel like the newspaper dude from season 1 is interested.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes. Another little love triangle.
And then she's interested in going back into the Man Ryan house. Right?
Yep. I feel like they need her right now because
she kind of was like the middle person between the aunties and Marion.
Yeah, but Armstrong ain't changed. She's still up to her
still
bullshit.
messy.
Trying to get some shit going.
She's still messy, yep. And then the cousin, Oscar, got beat up at the bar.
Yeah.
So that's making him want to live a normal life, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what... Because it's like... I guess I kind of see both sides of what they was both saying. Like, dude been telling him, like, I don't like this plan. Whatever you going on, I don't like it. And he's been ignoring him, like, oh, it'll be all right, it'll be all right. And then finally he's seen him with somebody else. And I was like, dang. And then I think like he told him, it's like, man, you got brothers.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So you... The family name don't rest on your shoulders like that.
There's
so you
expectations.
So you can do all this and be proud about who you are and this and that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oscar doesn't have that same privilege.
yeah, he's the only son and he's already expected. And on top of that, just homosexuality not being accepted at all at that time. It's like there's no place for him to you know,
he can't live in his truth.
Yeah. Without, I mean, shit, you seen his mom's reaction just to Marion getting a job.
Yes.
So imagine, you know what I'm saying?
To find out her only son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what he's up against, and it's not the same type of pressure. So it's like, I guess they have like different things about, you know, when they coming out and who they coming out to and what's at stake when it comes to coming out and all that. So
because for the longest his lover was looked at as his best friend, right?
Yeah, but that's also he's John Adams, so he's related to the second president ever. So it's like, I guess that's what that character's based off of, I think. But I mean, these are some fictional characters that made some of these characters up. But I'm just saying, like, still, whatever his character, their circumstances are different. So.
And then what's the story? What do you think the story is going to play out with the footman and the daughter who's, I forgot her name. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
she freaked out when she realized he was at the house serving wine.
Yeah. Her husband's reaction seemed a little over the top.
Yeah.
Like, we could do more than that. Like, what does that mean? Yeah. Like, relax, dude. But also, I feel like
her dad, right? Right.
Yeah, but I also feel like he works for Mr. Russell, and Mr. Russell ain't just gonna have. Like, he takes care of his people.
He definitely does. That's one thing I like about him.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be a situation where you can just go violate dude in any kind of way, but it's that whole weird thing of that society where it's like what she's worried about is people finding out that her dad is a servant.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
what does that got to do with you though?
Yeah, y'all obviously are doing well. That should be what matters. But
it's hard for them to make it in society because they're considered new money. You know, so.
And then to find out her dad is a servant brings them even down further on the social. And that's the thing. It's like all these things that's the whole reason why they don't fully accept the Russells, right? Is because they're new money. They don't come from money.
And her parents were potato pickers or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And so that always blows my mind about this world, by the way. Like, in my mind, I would think the person that earned the fortune would get more respect than the person that was just
handed
a fortune. But it's not. They're like, oh, you earned it? Ugh, gross. Yeah. Mine was inherited. That's real.
Generational wealth.
Yeah.
That's what they
Even though you have more money than me, you earned it on your own. Gross. That's such a weird, but that's how they looked at it. So.
Interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, and the union stuff is real interesting too, given what's been going on
all
in
these
real
strikes.
life. Yeah. Writer strikes, UPS strike and all that. Just like, okay, see how this, and it's interesting hearing it from, usually union stuff we hear from the union side. So it's interesting hearing it from their perspective. Like, they want 8-hour work days.
Yeah.
Like, what?
All these safeties. You're like, yeah.
Yes. But and it's like Mr. Russell seems to be coming from a place where like, yeah, they can get some stuff, but they're not finna like bully it out of us. We'll,
Right, we're gonna come to a compromise.
Yeah. But great episode. This is a great show.
We hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, one of our favorites.
So we'll be tuning in each week.
Indeed. It might not be a favorite of the algorithm or whatever, but
we're gonna keep posting.
This is one of our favorite shows. For the ones that said you want to watch us watch anything, this is one of those anythings. Because I don't know how popular this show is, but we love it. So we'll see y'all on the next one.
All right.